You understand, Federico, what I mean when
Of course,
I say
in the
this
afternoon
is the
time here
scene in
on
which we
Sundays,
set up the
84 goes
entire
many
film
places and
plot.
does many
What
things.
you
This
do here,
afternoon,
you see this
we have
lovely
the
girl
pleasure of visiting the
taking you
studios
around,
of
and you say to her,
Carlos Lousy. Is that correct, sir? Carlos Lousy?
Just a minute, I'll be with you in a moment. Yes, Carlos Lousy. Yes, of
and
Lousy
you're with
Productions.
Lousy Productions,
Yes.
I see. What are doing here exactly, sir?
We are making a film.
A film?
Goodness gracious.
You are a producer, is that right?
Yes.
A foreign producer.
What do you mean? I'm only foreign in my own country, of course.
Strange.
I am me. I've always been myself.
I see.
I'm
Strange, I was referring to strange.
Well,
Carlos, how long have you been in the filmmaking business?
oh, for many years now. You wouldn't think for a man so young.
About 2.5?
Nearly 6 months.
What was your first film, sir?
This is it.
This is your first film?
It's a beautiful film. It's called The Flaming Desert.
The Flaming Desert? Is it about somebody lost out in the desert?
No, it's a crepe Suzette.
I see. Is that your starlet over there?
Yes, that's her. Isn't
Rather
she beautiful?
Rather beautiful young lady. I notice she's not attired in much.
Monica Baboni is her name. She's a German.
What's her name again?
Monica Baboni.
I see. She's not really that bony.
She's a lovely woman, Monica. We have worked before in other films. I wasn't, you see, doing the film. I was once an actor myself.
I see. I see. You were a star of many films, were you?
No, I didn't star in no films at all, actually, but I did work in them. You said I did a small part.
A walk-on, was it?
I wouldn't say that.
More walk-off.
I would say more a walk-off. I left.
Carlos, what is your main philosophy in film producing?
The most important thing in making a film, especially today, is to be sure when you go there in the morning that the cameras are loaded.
The cameras are all there?
Yes, I did a silent film once without pictures.
Somebody made off with the cameras in the night?
It was a terrible thing I have made, you know.
Is a producer liable for all the equipment he has? Is he responsible for it?
I would think if it's his equipment, why shouldn't he be responsible for it?
I would imagine so.
Certainly.
I was thinking of the ship's captain, where if he loses the ship goes down with the captain, or vice versa.
That's true, and that's interesting you say that, because I'm making a new film after this one about the sea.
The sea?
Yes. It's a political film. It's about the Red Sea.
Well, Carlos, I notice your young lady here, the starlet of this film.
Monica Bambini. Monica Bambini.
Monica?
Well, you could call it Monica, depending on what country. She's German.
I see. This German young lady you have as a starlet in this film is not wearing very much. Is that an important part of the script, or is that, as you mentioned, simply for box office attraction?
That's what's going to get us a rating.
What kind of a rating do you think you're going to get?
This film, I promise you, will get a very high rating.
High rating? How high?
XXX.
What drove you to become a film producer, Carlos?
And all Nazem Maserati.
No, seriously, Carlos. I mean, what inner emotions did you have, about becoming a film producer?
It happened to me a very strange time, a rainy cold night.
A rainy cold night?
See, I'm a walk down the street, and I was in Milan now. At the time, I remember, and I was past a restaurant, and I said to myself, you hungry? You got to do something for a living. So I'm a photographer, my first film in my mind. You see, I get the first plot, and then I put it on paper, and pretty soon I'm a world famous now, you know. Oh yes, everybody know about me.
Your last name again was?
Carlos Lousy from Lousy Productions.
How big a company do you have, Carlos? I mean, I'd see, 3 or 4 cameras and a young lady here, slightly clad in you.
Well, of course. Right now we are filming a very personal scene. We don't have a big crowd of people around.
You get rid of them.
Well, of course. They want
distract.
A certain amount of privacy for the actors, you see.
I see.
And with the cameraman and myself and Monica Bambini and her, the German girl.
Seriously, Carlos, now, every producer's got his own, style. What is yours?
Well, I think my style is the most recognizable style in the world because people all over the world for a long time now have been saying that was a Lousy production.
Well, Carlos, many producers are rather fiery in their work. They become rather engrossed in it and bawl a lot of people out when they don't do things. Do you do that?
No, that is a lack of control.
I see.
A man with self-control, intelligence is important, you know. An intelligent man do not scream and yell. No.
How do you handle the situation, Carlos?
I strike people. But I do it quietly. I go over and I hit them in the face. I say, you're dumb, bump. Well, anyway, I need to work out.
Yes, I can imagine. Yeah.
I never have a tantrum in my life. I go into a coma of rage.
Well, how far along are you on this production, Carlos?
We're just starting.
I see.
This is the first scene, of course. Actually, we have been getting ready to start, you see, for 6 months. We have been getting people here, the right cameraman, the right editor, the right actors. This is important. You must know that. Also, it's important to have the right setting and the right temperature. All these things are...
Well, how did you run across the cast that you have now?
They were stranded in a little town out down the road. There was a part of a gypsy caravan, and one night this tambourine woke me up, and I left my tent, my place, my hotel, villa, and I went down there, and they were, you know, I saw, this is a superb, I saw, what a personal actress this is. This girl, Monica Bombini, I think that's her name, German girl. I said, gee, she was a great, beautiful child. And I said to her, I know she's not a minute over 37 years old, so I know she's right for this part. It is a juvenile part, at least the way she played is juvenile. And if she don't learn to do it right, excuse me.
How much does a production like this cost?
Well, it depends. In lira, which is, of course, the Italian medium of exchange, in lira, I would say 20, 30, 40 million lira.
How much is that in American money?
$12.23. You wouldn't want to invest a little money in a film yourself?
Really, I don't think. I was just, going to ask you a few impersonal questions. That's when we dropped by.
Yes, well, of course, money is impersonal. At this point, I have none. But I certainly
How much would it take to buy 50% of this movie?
How much you got on you?
What was the plot again?
To get money for the film. No, the plot of this film is a boy meets girl, a boy loses a girl, boy gets a girl.
Now that's very interesting, Carlos. Where do you intend to go after you finish the production?
Well, I don't know for certain where I will be going, but I do know I will not be going back to Italy.
Not back to Italy?
No, they won't let me in.
I see. What happened?
Well, they said once you get out of this country, Carlos Lousy, stay out. You don't like a pizza, do you?
Pizza?
Yeah.
Oh, a pizza.
I may
yes.
open up a bunch of Lousy pizza parlors.
Well, Carlos, it's been a pleasure this afternoon being on your set and watching your good work there.
Grazie.
I really have to catch a plane now to get back to the United States. But I was just curious, when do you think it'll be when you will have this production completed and go into distribution?
If you wait about 10 minutes, you can take it with you.